duty calls, we answer, right? Suicide Squad rides again.
Wedding bells are sounding as Arrow this week celebrates the wedding of Diggle and Lila. But as things go, their honeymoon was cut short, as Amanda Waller and the Suicide Squad are back in town carrying a new mission along with them. Welcome to the top 5 moments of the episode, followed by the overall verdict. Oliver goes after the impersonator alone in an attempt to stop the smearing of his now good name. But Oliver downplayed Raz's intentions if he thought there would just be one man to fight.
Murdering all of these people just to prove a point?
No. To persuade you. My master sees something in you.
Huh. Arrow. Super suit? I prefer the Atom.
Oliver confronts Ray in his office, telling him he should have trusted Felicity and her judgment. But Ray was having none of it. He believed Oliver was the killer and wasn't listening to reason. Now, all I want to happen is for Oliver to hand his ass to him in a fight.
You have no idea what this city is up against.
Actually, I think I do. And I'm gonna stop him.
Someone needs to cover your escape. Me up here is what gets you out down there alive.
Why?
You and your new wife, you just get back to your baby girl, all right, John?
After stopping the senator from detonating the explosives, the Suicide Squad, along with the hostages, make their getaway. The sad part was, someone had to cover their escape.
Hold on a second, Ray. Now you're telling me you think the Arrow is innocent.
Of these murders, yes. I believe he's being framed.
Lance has a hard time even wanting to believe the news when Ray recants his statement saying that the Arrow was set up. So far, the imposters have only been killing criminals, but as Oliver stated, it was only a matter of time before they moved on to innocents.
I am tired of listening.
Alright, this was the big moment that we were all waiting for. Honestly, if Ray won this fight, I would have flipped out. But thankfully, he didn't. Oliver stopped Ray right in his tracks, not before owning Roy, mind you, and gave him some valuable information that for Felicity's sake, Oliver hopes that he would listen to.
I told you to back off, and you didn't listen.
My overall verdict for this week's episode of Arrow is a 7 out of 10. Not as great as the most previous Arrow episodes, mostly due to the shift in focus, but let's face it, the Suicide Squad isn't a bad place to shift focus to. One half was dedicated to Oliver attempting to find the imposter who was murdering the criminals throughout Starling City, and the other half was following the Suicide Squad. Carrie Cutter made her debut into the squad itself and was a very welcome addition throughout. But the whole time I was wondering, where the hell is Bronze Tiger? Now, please, if someone can enlighten me, I'm reading and understanding now that the character was killed in the comics, which I presume means that the character isn't getting a send-off in the show, which sucks if it's true, but unfortunately I don't read the comics, so I'm not really too sure on this part. Now, speaking of send-offs, I've always enjoyed Floyd Lawton on screen, and it felt great to finally get some backstory to the character. He's been a recurring face popping up here and there since the beginning of the show, So he was due some character depth, even if the scenes were brief, to highlight the tragedies that have happened in his life. But as soon as those flashback scenes started to happen, the alarm bells were working. I was starting to think, they better not kill him off here. Then that happened. If that was indeed Floyd Lawton's final send-out, it was a good way to go, even as much as I enjoyed the character. But he's survived plenty in the past, so I wouldn't bet against the possibility of seeing him again in the future, even if the chances at the moment are looking bleak at best. Now onto the other half of the show. The highlight of this week was definitely the standoff between Oliver and Ray. Ray refused to listen to Felicity, who told him that the Arrow was innocent of these murders, and Ray's blindness would have gotten him killed if Felicity wasn't right. Oliver wasn't going to kill Ray, and after he knocked him down a peg or two, Oliver helped Ray to his feet, which finally gave him the clarity that he needed. He should have believed Felicity. Now, quick side note. Damn, Roy got owned, and he was never to be seen again for the remainder of the episode. I reckon that they will revisit Roy at the beginning of next week's episode, but that was quite a bump he took there. And to put the icing on the cake, we closed out the episode as Maceo was the one who shot the mayor through the chest, and they teased us with him shooting one at Felicity as well. But yeah, right, not believing that for a second. Wherever that second arrow is heading, I guess we'll have to wait till next week to find out. As always, thank you very much for watching. Please leave a like, comment and subscribe if you enjoyed the review, and I'll see you next week.
I am tired of listening.